Hi, I'm Tom Lu from Texas. Today, I'm in the Rocky Mountain National Park. The Rocky Mountain National Park is located in the central eastern Colorado, 70 miles from Denver. It's a part of the magnificent Rocky Mountains, a major mountain range in North America. The Rocky Mountains stretch 3,000 miles from northern area of Canada to the southwest of the United States. They form the extraordinary landscapes along the way, and they are the source of numerous tales of Americans' most adventurous journey to the Wild West. Lying on the southern part of the Rocky Mountains, Colorado is notable for its diverse geography and the spectacular natural sceneries. 4 American national parks have been established in Colorado, making it a popular destination for vacations and outdoor recreational activities. The Rocky Mountain National Park, one of the most favored national parks in the United States, is a spectacle of heavenly beauty here in Colorado. We arrived in Colorado on October 9th. It was a delightful autumn season in the mountain state. We flew from Dallas to Denver and then drove 70 miles in the breathtakingly beautiful mountain roads from Denver to Estes Park. We plan to stay in a hotel in Estes Park. Estes Park is a picturesque town in the valley of the Rocky Mountains. As a tourism town, it's filled with hotels, restaurants, and shops. It serves as a gateway to the east entrance of the Rocky Mountain National Park. During our stay, this idyllic town was being visited by a large number of elk. They descended on Estes Park to forage. They were roaming freely on the streets and the parking lot of the Safeway grocery store, drawing attention from local residents and the tourists alike. Despite the crowd, they seemed undistracted, a scene in which wildlife and human live in harmony and mutual respect in the Rocky Mountains. When the first morning light came from sky, air was still cold. Mountains and plains began to glow with a golden warm light. Birds began to sing dawn chorus. Geese were paddling in water. Some were roaming about on meadows, while most part of the town seemed asleep. This was a scene of quiet, pastoral beauty unfolding slowly before our eyes. This was the beginning of our days in the Rocky Mountains. Estes Park was founded in 1859 by a Missouri man, Joe Estes, as a summer resort. In 1884, Enos Mills, a 14-year-old Kansas native who suffered from a wheat allergy, moved to Estes Park to improve his health. He explored the region extensively so that he became enamored with the beauty of the Rocky Mountains. Mills decided to have a career as a naturalist and dedicated his life to preserving and promoting the Rocky Mountains to the American public by giving speeches and writing. His activism culminated to a monumental success In 1915, when President Woodrow Wilson was persuaded by his tenacious effort and signed a law to designate the Rocky Mountains as a national park on January 26, 1915, 4 months after World War I broke out. With a passion for preserving the beauty of this vast and magnificent wilderness, Enos Mills single-handedly helped establish the Rocky Mountain National Park. He is known to many in Colorado as the father of Rocky Mountain National Park. Without parks and outdoor life, all that is best in civilization will be smothered. To save ourselves, to prevent our perishing, to enable us to live at our best and happiest, parks are necessary. Within national parks is a room, glorious room in which to find ourselves, in which to think and hope, to dream and plan, to rest and resolve. Enos Mills.
When the blue sky holds me captive, when the sunshine warms my bone, when the grass grows tall and sweeter, that's when I'll know I'm home. When the mountains tower over me, when my hand knows every stone of the refuge that I built there, that's when I'll know I'm home. And when I see that cross against the mountains all aglow, and when I hear the silence, that's when I'll know I'm home.
This is the Long's Peak, the highest peak at the Rocky Mountain National Park. 14,000 feet above sea level. It's also the south entrance of the Rocky Mountain National Park. Established in 1915, the Rocky Mountain National Park encompasses 415 square miles of land, teeming with majestic mountains, pristine forests, and tranquil lakes and streams. It was formed 2 billion years ago through a series of geological processes, including rock formation, collisions of continental plates, and water erosion. It's one of the highest national parks in the United States. 60 mountain peaks rise 12,000 feet above sea level. Such a high altitude gives the Rocky Mountains a diversity of landscapes, climates, faunas, and flora. The Trail Ridge Road is a 48-mile scenic drive road which connects the east entrance Estes Park and the west entrance Grand Lake. With the peak elevation of 12,000 feet, it's the highest paved road in the United States. The construction of the road began in 1929, when automobiles were made popular for Americans to travel across the country, and often to remote and dangerous places like Rocky Mountains. When it was completed in 1932, it was considered an engineering marvel of the nation. It was called a scenic wonder road of the world. The road has twists and turns. It offers thrilling views in succession and wildlife sightings, and leads to many landmark sceneries in the Rocky Mountains. It climbs 4,000 feet in a matter of minutes. The drive begins forests of aspen and ponderosa pine, and soon changes to thick subalpine forests of firs and spruce. Quaking aspen, one of the iconic features of Colorado, decorates a big part of the fall color in the Rocky Mountains. Changes in temperature, moisture, and the light during fall trigger the breakdown of chlorophyll in the aspen leaves. As the green color fades, yellow, orange, and red pigments appear. This magical color change usually occurs in September and October. It forms a magnificent display of a golden splendor in the Rocky Mountains. There are numerous natural lakes scattered in the Rocky Mountains. They were formed tens of thousands of years ago by the meltwater from the glaciers. Wandering from the lake deep into the woods, in a space completely void of hustle and bustle in a normal and civilized life, I was immersed in a state of deep serenity, craving for solitude, and a longing for peace. In the Rocky Mountain National Park, a bright sunny day can turn windy and wet within moments. On October 11th, our third day, a blanket of snow descended on the Rocky Mountain National Park, miraculously turned it into a stunning wonderland of winter. In 20 miles, the Trail Ridge Road enters Alpine Visitor Center. 12,000 feet above sea level, it's the highest visitor center in the national park system of the United States, offering 360-degree commanding and sweeping views of the Rocky Mountains at distances far beyond your imagination. After a strenuous hike, I climbed to a giant boulder atop of the mountain. Physically challenged, but spiritually inspired, I stood in awe, gazing at the spectacular sprawling mountain range before my eyes, and the clouds not so distant above. Astonished and humbled, thinking heaven might be close enough to touch. The Rocky Mountain National Park is a crown jewel of the American natural wonders. It has significant historical and scenic value, gracious charm, vibrant colors, charismatic beauty. In fact, I think the beauty of the Rocky Mountains transcends the limit of humans' linguistic ability to try to describe it. A geological wonder created 2 billion years in the past, the Rocky Mountain National Park has been a national treasure for over 100 years. It was established by an American wartime president during a tumultuous time, an enduring legacy that the eternal beauty of our nature will be seen, shared, and admired by our children, grandchildren, and the generations to come.
When the stars stretch far above me, shining right into my soul, when the moonlight guides my footsteps, that's when I'll know I'm home. When the wind roars in the darkness and whispers in the sun, when the pine trees fill my senses, that's when I'll know I'm home. And when I see that cross against the mountains all aglow, and when I hear the silence, that's when I'll know I'm home. That's when I'll know